creating and writing your program review using eLumen in 4 parts. This is part 4, and the purpose of part 4 is to show you how to create your narrative, establish your budget, and then publish the program review for submission. Where we left off in part 3 is right here on a screen that looks like this under the Initiatives tab, and we are in active mode. If you haven't completed part 1, 2, or 3, I strongly urge you to go back and do those first before part 4. If you're entering eLumen for the first time, it may look like this, and the way we navigate to our part 4 section is we're on Strategic Planning tab, Initiatives. And then down at the bottom, again, ignore everything at the top, click on the link to your department name. And it should look like this. You have a bunch of boxes. So as I mentioned in part 1, all you need to do is read the questions that you have on the screen and put your responses in each of the boxes. So go through each of them. If you aren't going to be completing these sections, as some of you who are in Cycle A and Cycle C are not, then you don't need to complete this information, but you will want to at least click into one of the boxes and type a period and delete whatever is there, and then click Save so that it touches the document. But again, if you are entering it, then just provide your complete response. And you can do things like bold and italic and make it a numbered list or a bulleted list. You can add a link to something, all those kinds of things that you can do. You can add an image if you have an image to add, and change the size, etc. If you want to work in the full screen, you just click this little thing and it takes that one question and puts it on a full screen, because sometimes it's a little hard in a box, and then when you're done, just click this little button again and it takes it back to small. So that's how you write your narrative for each of the responses that are required. And then just be sure to save when you're done. There's a little save button at the top here. The other part is to identify the cost of your resource requests. So if you made a resource request, you need to identify the cost. And on this top bar here, across the top where the Save and the Publish button is, there's this little drop down that says Management. Click on Management, and underneath it you should see something called Budget Management. So select that. It will automatically show any resource requests that you had previously written in part 3. So you can see here that I was the requester. The resource I requested is to hire a part-time employee and then to write the normal description and justification would be there. And the type is additional staff, and the cost will be something like, maybe I need $5,000 for that. Okay? At this time, you cannot select a budget category. In the future you will, but right now it's not set up correctly, and so this will be added later by the program managers or myself, most likely. And if you have multiple ones, you'll want to rank them in order of what's your highest priority. So if you had more than one resource request on this screen, you can put them in the order that is appropriate for your department needs. If you select the row just by clicking in the yellow area as an example, you can see additional details that you may have created. So, for example, when I entered this, and a little bit more of that action line that we saw in part 2. Of course, you can choose approve or reject, but it doesn't mean or do anything. It does make it green, which is nice, but just leave it as pending. That drop-down menu will be used by the committee workflow where we are reviewing the resource requests. So once you basically all you got to do here is put in your dollar amount. So talked for 2 minutes, all you got to do is put in your dollar amount. If you're not sure, try to put in an as appropriate amount that seems like the correct amount. When you're done, click Save. That's it. It'll stay there at the top unless you want to hide it, because you can still enter data in your program review here. I'm just going to hide it. And as a reminder from part 1, if you have a document to upload, you use this icon over here at the top right. It's a document library, and again, you just go and upload files. You can create a subfolder if you want to, and so on. Okay? So once it's all done, you will make sure it's saved, and then you just click this button here that says Publish All, and off it goes. That's all you need to do. If you want to report for yourself, there's a nice little download option here. So you just click on this little download icon. It will pop up a complete report of everything you've written in one page and who did it. And it also will include your goals and objectives and your resource requests that you have listed. So right now it says status pending. So you can get a little printout by clicking here. And make sure you click Publish All when you're done. And that concludes part 4, and also if you did all of part 1, 2, and 3, you are done with your program review for this cycle. Congratulations.